Hey guys, today we're diving into how to use Make.com, the ultimate tool for creating powerful AI-driven automations that can 100 times your productivity. Whether you're looking to boost your efficiency, streamline your workflows, or master the art of automation without writing a single line of code, this video will cover it all. We'll be breaking down every step so you know exactly how to implement this and get results right away. Are you ready? Let's get started. So first of all, thank you for coming back, and a big welcome to our new subscribers joining us today. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Jake Dawson, and I'm here to bring you the latest in AI sales automation and workflow hacks in a way that's easy to understand and apply. And as always, remember everything we cover here, it's designed to help you succeed. These are not just theories, but actionable strategies you can use right now. If you're new here, or looking for more ways to level up, don't forget to check out the school community linked below. Inside you'll find exclusive Make.com templates, including the one we're using today, that you can import directly and start using immediately. We've built a whole space for learners and doers just like you, where you can ask questions, get direct help, and connect with like-minded folks ready to take action. And of course, you can always subscribe and hit that bell button to get notified of our bi-weekly videos, live sessions, and more. Let's jump right in. All right, so first things first, what is Make.com? Make.com is essentially a powerhouse of automation, a digital Swiss Army knife that can completely transform how you handle tasks in your business or daily life. Imagine having a tool that lets you link all the apps and services you use every day, letting them communicate with each other and work together seamlessly. With Make.com, that vision becomes a reality. So instead of manually having to move data from one app to another, you can create custom workflows and automate all of these processes, freeing up valuable time. The beauty of Make.com is it's designed to be user-friendly, so you don't need to know how to code. You can automate anything, from simple daily tasks to sending out email reminders to more complex workflows like integrating different CRM systems, managing your entire social media strategy, or handling data across multiple platforms. So with thousands of apps available to connect everything from Google Workspace, Slack, HubSpot, Trello, Shopify, and even AI-powered tools like ChatGPT, you can literally automate just about anything. And it's not just about saving time, it's about optimizing how you work so you can focus on what really matters, whether that's growing your business, enhancing customer experiences, or simply spending more time on the creative aspects of your work. And today, I'm going to show you how you can set up your first scenario, a workflow that will save you tons of time, eliminate repetitive work, and help you focus on what truly drives results for you. Now, let's get started with setting up Make.com. First, you'll need to head over to the website. If you haven't done so already, create a free account. It's a straightforward process. Just fill in your details, verify your email, and you're good to go. With a free account, you'll get 1,000 operations per month. Now, what's an operation, you ask? An operation is basically any single action or step taken in your automation process. For example, if your scenario involves checking for new entries in a Google Sheet, then sending an email based on that entry, each of these steps is considered an operation. 1,000 operations might not sound like much, but for most beginners, it's more than enough to start building and testing your first few automation scenarios. Once you've created your account and you're logged in, you'll land on the Make.com dashboard. This is the central hub where all of your automation magic will happen. Let me give you a quick overview of the interface to get you more comfortable. All right, guys, before we jump into setting up our first automation, let's take a minute to cover some basic terms so we're all on the same page. If you're just getting started with Make.com, this part is super important. Think of it like learning the rules before you start playing a game. Trust me, it will make things a lot easier once we get into the nitty-gritty of building workflows. So first thing is first, Make.com is all about scenarios. And what's a scenario, you ask? Well, it's basically a blueprint for your automation. Picture this. You've got a series of steps laid out, and each step tells Make.com exactly what to do, when to do it, and how. It's like creating a roadmap for your tasks. And once it's set up, it's all smooth sailing. You get to sit back, relax, and watch the magic happen. Now, let's talk about modules. Think of modules as the building blocks of your automation. Each one is a specific task, like sending an email, updating a spreadsheet, or posting on social media. You'll string these modules together to build your scenario. You could say they're like Lego pieces in your automation set. And just like with Legos, the way you can combine them is totally up to you. The possibilities are endless. So how do these modules know when to start doing their thing? That's where triggers come in. A trigger is what gets the whole party started. It's like that first domino you push that sets off a chain reaction. For example, let's say you want to set an automatic email every time someone fills out a form. The form submission is your trigger. When this happens, it kicks off your scenario and it just resets that flow. So once the trigger fires, it's showtime. And for the actions are what actually happen after the trigger goes off. This is where the real work gets done. Using form submission example, the action would be sending out that automated email. And guess what? You can have multiple actions lined up after a single trigger, like updating a CRM, adding a task to your to-do list, or sending a follow-up message. It's all about making things easier and cutting down on the boring stuff. And hey, what if you want things to branch out and get a bit more complex? That's where routers come in handy. Think of routers as the traffic cops of your automation. They can help you create different paths based on certain conditions. Maybe you want to send an email to customer support if the feedback is negative, but add it to a testimonials page if it's positive. Routers let you set those rules and take your automation to a whole new level. Trust me, once you start using routers, there's no turning back. Okay, look, I get it. This might feel like a lot to take in right now, but don't sweat it. These terms, scenarios, modules, triggers, actions, and routers will become second nature once you start playing around with them. It's like riding a bike. The more you do it, the easier it gets. And the best way to learn is by diving in and getting your hands dirty. You'll see just how much time and hassle you can save with a few simple automations. So hang tight, keep that enthusiasm up, and let's get to building. All right, so now that we got that covered, let's actually build something. I'm going to show you a super simple automation that could save you a ton of time. We're going to set up an automatic email response whenever someone fills out a Google form. It's a basic example, but a great starting point to see how all the pieces fit together. So first up, head over to the Make.com dashboard, click on Scenarios. This is where all the magic happens. Now, click on Create a New Scenario and you'll land on a blank canvas with a big plus sign in the middle. That's our starting point. For our trigger, we're going with Google Forms. Click that plus sign, search for Google Forms, and select it. You'll see a list of actions pop up. We'll want to use Watch Responses. This action keeps an eye on your form and triggers the scenario every time there's a new submission. Think of it as Make.com's way of standing guard and jumping into action as soon as something happens. After you select Watch Responses, you'll need to connect your Google account so Make.com can securely access it. Easy peasy. Once that's done, pick the form you want to monitor and decide how many responses you want to pull in each time. Let's keep it simple and set it for 2 for now. Sweet. So our trigger is good to go. Now let's set up what happens next, sending an automated email. Click that plus sign again, search for email, and select the Send an Email action. Just like before, you'll need to connect your email provider to Make.com. After that, you're ready to customize your email. Enter the recipient's email address. This will be dynamic data coming from the form response. For the subject, something friendly like, "Thanks for your submission," works great. And for the email body, you can make it more personal by including the respondent's name and any other info they shared on the form. Easy, right? But let's take it up a notch. To make this automation even more intelligent, let's add a filter. Filters let you fine-tune your automation so that they can only run when specific conditions are met. Maybe you only want to send an email if someone checked a box saying they want to receive updates. So, between the Google Forms module and the email module, there's a little funnel icon. Click on that and you can add a filter. Set the condition to something like, if the response contains yes to receiving updates, then send the email. Filters are super handy and give you more control over your automations. All right, so now we've got our first scenario set up. Let's hit save in the bottom right corner and give it a test run. Click run once to manually kick off the automation. Go over to your Google form, fill it out and hit submit. Then come back to Make.com and you should see the automation doing its thing, sending that email like a pro. Not too shabby, huh? It's a small win, But seeing it work is super satisfying and just the beginning of what you can do with Make.com. All right, so let's kick things up a notch and explore some of the more advanced features of Make.com. One of my favorite things about this platform is how it can integrate with AI tools like ChatGPT. Imagine creating automations that can generate content, answer customer questions, or even suggest blog post ideas, all without lifting a finger. Let's build a scenario that uses ChatGPT to generate responses based on user input from a message app like Slack. If you're new to ChatGPT, no worries. It's not as complicated as it sounds. Think of ChatGPT as a super smart AI buddy that can whip up text you based on whatever you feed it. It's like having a writing assistant that never sleeps, never complains, and always has fresh ideas. Cool, right? For this setup, let's trigger a new message in a Slack channel. So imagine you've got a Slack workspace, and whenever someone posts a message in a specific channel, bam, ChatGPT jumps in and generates a response. This could be anything from a quick reply to a customer question, a joke to lighten up the mood, or even a helpful resource link. The sky's the limit. Now, to make this work, you need to connect your OpenAI account to Make.com using an API key. I know API key may sound a bit technical, but trust me, it's a lot simpler than it sounds. Think of it like this. An API key is like a secret password that allows Make.com to talk to OpenAI and use ChatGPT's capabilities. So here's how you get that API key. First, head over to OpenAI's website. You'll need to log into your account. If you don't have one yet, no problem. Signing up is free and quick. Once you're in, look for the section labeled API or API keys. It's usually tucked away in your account settings or under your profile. Click on that and you'll see an option to create new secret key or something similar. Hit that button and voila, your API key will be generated right there. Make sure you copy it somewhere safe because guess what? This is a one-time view thing. Once you close that window, you won't see that key again. It's like Mission Impossible for API keys. This message will self-destruct, so keep it secure. All right, so now you've got your API key. So let's head back to Make.com and start setting up your scenario. Add the ChatGPT module. This is where the magic happens. When you add the module, it's going to ask you to connect your OpenAI account. This is where you copy and paste that shiny new API key that you just got, and boom, you're connected. High five yourself because you just unlocked the power of AI. Once you're all set up, you can configure the ChatGPT model to take the message text from Slack as its input. You're basically telling ChatGPT, hey, anytime someone drops a message in this Slack channel, I want you to jump in and work your AI magic. The output will be the AI-generated response, ready to be sent back to Slack or used in another part of your workflow. You could have ChatGPT answer questions, provide updates, suggest funny memes, or even create random quotes to keep the team's spirit up. The best part, it's all automated, so you don't have to lift a finger. And there's so much more that you can do with this. Maybe you want to send the AI-generated response to a different channel, email it to a support team, or log it in your CRM for the future. The possibilities are endless when you mix AI with automation, so get creative with it. Once you see how easy and powerful it is to set up, you'll wonder how you ever managed without it. If you're stuck at any point or need a bit more guidance, don't hesitate to drop a question in the comments. I'm here to help you make your workflows smarter, faster, and most importantly, a whole lot more fun. So for starters, here's a quick tip for you. Always keep an eye on your scenarios to make sure that they're running as they should. Make.com has a solid log system that shows you what's happening at each step. If something doesn't look right, those logs are your best friends for troubleshooting and tweaking your setup. Also keep an eye on your usage. Each action counts as an operation, and depending on your plan, you've got a limited number per month. Use your operations wisely and make sure you're getting the most bang for your buck. Okay, now that you're getting the hang of it, let's talk about some quick, time-saving automations you can set up right away. Automating social media posts? For sure. You can use Make.com to connect all of your social accounts and set up a schedule to post content from a Google Sheet automatically. No more manual posting every day, just set it and forget it. Or how about integrating Make.com with your CRM to automatically update customer records whenever a new lead is generated? Perfect. Keeping everything current without all the busy work. The possibilities are endless, and the more you dig in, the more ideas you'll come up with, trust me. All right, guys, let's continue by diving into some advanced tips and tricks to truly master Make.com and take your automation skills to the next level. We've covered a lot today, but trust me, we're just scratching the surface of what you can do. Let's go beyond the basics and explore some pro tips, common pitfalls to avoid, and create ways to optimize your automation workflows. First off, let's talk about optimizing your scenarios for performance. The more modules and actions you add, the more operations you consume. And let's be honest, no one likes running out of their monthly quota of operations. One key tip here is to use filters smartly. Filters let you decide which data should pass through the next step, reducing unnecessary operations. For example, if you're automating an email sequence, you don't need to send follow-up emails to everyone, just the ones you didn't open your first emails. Adding a filter can save you a ton of operations and keep your workflow efficient. Another tip is to group smaller tasks into a single scenario. Let's say you're managing a sales pipeline. Instead of having separate scenarios for each stage of the pipeline, like lead qualification, nurturing, and conversation, you can create a single, more powerful scenario with routers and filters to manage these tasks dynamically. This way, you're not only saving operations, but also keeping your workflows organized and easy to troubleshoot. Speaking of troubleshooting, always use Make.com's built-in error handlers. This is a game changer when it comes to avoiding those frustrating moments where an entire scenario fails just because one module didn't work as expected. Error handlers let you decide what to do if a step fails. Maybe you want to send a notification to yourself, retry the operation, or skip that step entirely. Setting these up can make your automations much more robust and reliable. Now, let's touch on some common mistakes that people make when they're new to Make.com and how you can avoid them. A big one I see is overcomplicating scenarios. Trust me, I get it. When you first start using this app, it's easy to get carried away with all of the possibilities. But remember, simplicity is key. Start small and test each step thoroughly and build complexity gradually. If you create a monster of a scenario, 20 different modules right out of the gate, it becomes a nightmare to debug and maintain. Another common mistake is not leveraging templates. Make.com offers a ton of pre-built templates that can save you time and give you a solid foundation from the start. Why reinvent the wheel when you can use a template that's already been tried and tested? Browse through the template library and use it as a starting point. You can always customize it to fit your specific needs. And here's a biggie, forgetting to monitor your scenarios. Automations are fantastic because they run on their own, but that doesn't mean you can set it and forget it. Regularly check the execution logs to see if any errors have popped up. Make.com provides detailed logs that show exactly what happened at each step of your scenario. Use these logs to fine-tune your automation, spot inefficiencies, and make adjustments. Now, let's get creative. One of the coolest things about Make.com is how you can combine it with other tools to supercharge your automations. For example, try integrating Make.com with Zapier. This might sound a bit wild, but combining different automation platforms can give you the best of both worlds. Maybe you're using Make.com for handling complex workflows and Zapier for something simple, single-step automations. By integrating both, you can create even more powerful and versatile workflows. Another great optimization technique is batch processing. If you have a scenario that processes large amounts of data, like pulling in thousands of rows from a spreadsheet or handling bulk email sending, consider batching those processes to run at off-peak times or to handle chunks of data at a time. This will not only keep your operation usage in check, but also prevent your scenarios from timing out or hitting data limits. All right, so let's recap what we've covered in today's deep dive. We started out with the basics of Make.com, like setting up your first scenario, understanding how triggers work, and how actions work. We used modules like Google Sheets and email to automate your workflows. We then took it a step further by integrating AI tools like ChatGPT and discussed how to optimize your workflows with filters, routers, and error handlers. Now you've got a solid foundation, but the journey does not stop there. I encourage you to start building your own AI-powered automations with Make.com today. Try out different combinations, push the boundaries of what's possible, and most importantly, have fun with it. Automation isn't just about saving time, it's about creating new possibilities for your business, freeing up your time to focus on what really matters. and even adding a bit of magic to your daily routines. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell button so you're always up to date with the latest tips and tricks on automation and productivity tools. And hey, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments what automations you'd love to see next. Maybe you're looking to automate your social media, or perhaps you want to set up a dynamic CRM workflow. I'm here to help you out. And if you're serious about mastering Make.com and automation, I've got an exclusive invite just for you to join our school community where we dive even deeper into these topics. You'll get access to exclusive templates, resources, and mentoring from other automation experts. It's a great way to learn, share ideas, and get support as you build your own automation empire. All right, guys, that's a wrap on today's video. Remember, automation is the future, and you are already ahead of the game by taking the time to learn how to do it right. I'm Jake Dawson, and I'll see you in the next video.